Good evening, everybody. It is just after 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 13th of January. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My internet is a little bit haphazard at the moment. I'm waiting for BT to sort it out. So I'm hoping that we will stay live for the duration. So I did have two ideas. I'm only going to do one tonight just in case, but I will do a live tomorrow evening, that is Friday, so to make up for the fact that this is not all of what I wanted to show everybody. So thank you for joining. If you're joining me for the first time, hi and welcome. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and the company name is Jemini Crafts, and you can find me in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. So thank you for joining me this evening. If you have any queries or questions on what you've seen, then don't hesitate to send me a message or make a comment. Hi Tracy, thanks for joining us this evening. If you're watching on catch up or on YouTube, again, you can just post a comment, and I do try and check those on a regular basis, and if there's any queries there, then I will respond and get back to you. So it looks like we have comments on my phone this evening, so that is a progress. And we have been using this celebration stamp set this week. It's called Driving By, and yesterday I did one with the campervans going across the page in a traffic jam, which I did with the Stamparatus. I've mislaid that card. I know it's in the bag from Coffee and Card. I did a coffee and card today to help Sam, one of my team, out, and one of the ladies there, Monica, did a great job of just stamping without using the Stamparatus, in the same way, lines going across, and it was really effective. So it just goes to show you don't necessarily need the Stamparatus. But what I wanted to do was two more things with this set. One is to stamp in the round to make it look like they're going round in a roundabout, and the other one is to use the Give It a Whirl dies, and that's where you have a little window and a wheel that turns round, and in the window you'll be able to see something, and I'm planning on doing that either with each of the vehicles in turn, so they pop up in the window, or if they're too big, then I may use one or two of the vehicles instead. So this is the stamp set, Driving By. Oops, a daisy, it's a bit light. So I thought what I'd do is just use the Stamparatus and have the car going round in a circle. Now, we did something very similar to this last week when I was doing some geometrical stamping with the kite stamp set. So if you saw that, this is no different to that, but obviously we're not doing geometrical designs in quite the same way. So what I've got is our stamp positioning tool and a piece of card that fits my template. This is just under 5 inches, so that I can fit it on a card that is cut from an A4 piece of card. Hi Kerry, good morning to you. And if anybody doesn't know, Kerry is in Australia, so she's ahead of us, and I believe Kerry's now Friday morning. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to position our car on here, stamp it, and then turn this accordingly. Now, I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to fit onto here, so I'm just going to have a little play. I really want to try and use this one here, the car with the presents. So let's just see if this is going to work. So the thing is, you've only got a limited amount of space between here and the top, and so the obvious one is just have it there and there, but I'm wondering, I don't think I have enough to do 1, 2, because it's going to be outside. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is just bring it in a little bit and then have my driving by to say hi in the middle. So actually it would make sense to stamp that first, and then I can see how close I get to my little car. So let's do that. So I hope everybody's had a good day, and Kerry's looking forward to a good day. I am going to stamp this in early espresso, no surprise there. And I'm just going to roughly work out the centre. So I'm just using these as a guideline really, rather than measuring it like I did last week, or was it even this week? I can't remember. Who knows? Who knows? So there we go. I've got my driving by just to say hi. So what I'm going to do is just take that off so I can put a block underneath there, and I'm going to position this like so, so that I've got the full height, because obviously this is quite a big stamp, and I'm going to use plenty of blocks to hold it in place. And I'm just going to turn the card round, not the stamp, so I post stamp into each corner. So what I want to do is see how close I can get this, okay, in between each one. Oh, it was your birthday, Kerry. Oh, bless you. Well, happy birthday for you earlier this week. Fantastic. I'm glad you're going out to have some coffee and celebrate. So I'm thinking that should just about work, because then I've got another one coming in. I don't want them too close. I don't want them completely overlapping. So let's just give this a go and see. So I'm just going to pop that top down there. Okay, and let's give it a go. And what I'll do is I'll stamp them, and then I'll probably colour them in different colours. And then tomorrow I will use the Give It a Whirl dies to do the little pop-up window. Okay, so there is one. Then I'm just going to rotate that. Let's move that out of the way. So you just want to watch that the magnets don't touch each other, which is why I've got some tape on mine. And then just lift that over to make sure it's going to fit. So yeah, that's going to fit perfectly. So I could have come a little bit closer. Just the way it goes, isn't it? Oops, I'm hoping not to knock everything too much. Doesn't matter which way you turn this in the slightest. So when you know what size this is, you can always then decrease the centre, bring it in a little bit further so they are a bit closer together. And I apologise if that is shining because of my Obviously I've got my lights on this evening. There we go. Just flatten that down. I've got some extra width there on the magnet. And I've also got one of our foam pads under here, so which is not necessary for a stamp that's got red rubber and foam on it. So it's quite high, it doesn't need to be that high, but it's just extra cushioning. It's not going to do any harm. But you may find if you have a very large stamp that it can go a little bit uneven. So I hope you've had a good day, Tracy. It's Friday again tomorrow. I don't know how that ever happened. There we go. So let's have a look. There we go. Driving by just to say hi. So I could bring this in a little bit. I could get away with it being literally half a centimetre closer, but not much more than that. Okay, but I think that's quite good fun as it is. Where'd you get the line paper? Oh, what, this one here, Kerry? Do you mean? If it is, it's a template that I've created. It's not particularly difficult. It's a free PDF template. So if you like, I can send you a link for that, or post a link in the comments after the video. And it's just basically 2 sets that you can obviously turn them around in small stages. And I've laminated mine, and in fact I've laminated it, and sometimes I have one actually attached to the foam pad underneath. I will do that. Oh, hi Karen, sorry, I thought it was Kerry. I see I haven't got my glasses on. So no problem, Karen. I will add a link to the file. It's just a PDF file, so you can print it out. You can scale it up or down as well. And I don't worry on the exact measurements of this, because if I've got a slightly smaller piece, then I just fit it in the next, you know, the next set of brackets, and I just give it a little bit, you know, if it fits like that, then I just give it, you know, a 2mm border. Okay, so I'll make a note to do that. Of course I will, Brenda, no trouble at all. So there I've got my little beetles going around, and I did use this with some step stamping the other day to do the cars in the traffic jam, or the I did these ones in the traffic jam. So I'm just literally going to colour these at my pleasure and pop it on a layer onto a square card. So nothing particularly technical today. You could, what would be quite fun would be to cut a centre circle and put it in to make it look like a roundabout. So depending on where you live, our mini roundabouts tend to be white with a sort of black centre or black middle. So you could have a little bit of fun and create your roundabout in the middle that your cars are going round. And all I'm going to do is just really fairly quickly colour these in. So it's just a little bit of fun, but the Stamparatus is great fun for this. And I have a whole series of Stamparatus projects on YouTube, and I have a playlist called Stamparatus. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just look for Jenny McCormack or Jemini Crafts with a J. Then if you go there and look for playlists, and one of the playlists is Stamparatus. So any of the videos that I've done, well, most, I won't say every single one, most of the videos that I have done that use Stamparatus for a technique I have labelled up as a Stamparatus item. So what I will also do in the comments when this is finished is I will add a link to my YouTube with the Stamparatus, and also I will add the link to the file for you. So I'll do that straight away when we've finished, and it'll appear as a comment. Okay, so you might need to look for it. Okay, so I'm just literally colouring this in. So I've used the, in this case, Dark Daffodil Delight. Now I'm using the light Daffodil Delight, like so, and just blending those in together. So you could, I'm not sure you could, well, you might be able to cut that off if you didn't want the presents on the top, but you could equally just mask them off with a post-it note while you're inking up. Just don't forget to take the post-it note off when you're placing it down. So I'm just going to do the bodies, and I'll do a little bit of the presents. Like so, just colour them and something different. So good fun for anybody who likes cars or driving. It does remind me of a stamp set that we had that had a Christmas tree on the roof. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. I think it was last year. There we go. So I'm going to do the wheels and things afterwards. Let's just do some green. So I've got light and dark granny apple green. Got some different caps on that's throwing me all together. So I hope everybody's having or has had a good day. It's been lovely weather here. I was out with Cassie this afternoon. That's my dog, and it was quite cold, but beautiful sunshine and blue sky, which is definitely what we want. So just going up over this, the archway over the wheel arch, a little bit in here maybe. Like so. And then just using the light. So when you are colouring, just be patient. The blending comes with practice. I'm certainly not an expert in the slightest. There's much better colourists out there, as they call them. But if you can, especially if you're nervous of doing it, just stamp out a dozen or so and just have a go at colouring them in. So I'm using our Stampin' Up blends pens. These are alcohol markers, so they lay the colour down and then the alcohol evaporates, and what that means is that the ink will go through onto the back. Okay, so which is why I'm doing it on a separate card, not on a base card or anything. So just bear that in mind. Okay. Let's have matching present colours. I'll say I will do another live tomorrow. I don't usually go live on a Friday, but I will do tomorrow because I want to use the Give It a Whirl dies, but I daren't do it this evening because the internet has been on and off all afternoon. and I don't really want to get part of the way through and then have to start all over again. Let's have a blue one. So I'm just going to colour this one in exactly the same. Now I could have done this, although I've got 4 corners, so I could have done one each of the vehicles, couldn't I? But that would have looked a bit odd. So I don't know how many of you have got this stamp set, but obviously you could do this with something similar. Kerry, live tomorrow. I'm thinking this time tomorrow, I think 7 o'clock, because I'm out during the day and I have coffee and card in the afternoon, and we'll be doing this design again tomorrow, and then live at 7. That's my plan. Pleasure. Thank you, Kerry. So what time is it for you now then? If it's whatever, 7:15 here on Thursday evening, I can make it Saturday for you, isn't it? Okay, that's that one. Let's do I need to know what colour I'm going to do this one. I'm thinking probably red. Oh, 6:20 Friday morning. Oh my goodness. Let's give them coloured hubcaps, I think. It's a fun little stamp set, and obviously you could do this with anything. I love the sentiment though, driving by just to say hi. Great excuse just to send a card. Oh, Kerry's always up early, bless you. Right, I've got a light and dark poppy braid, so I'm going to go red with this one. So I say not just really following that line, like so. I left that bumper off, I realised. And I'll lift it up to the camera in a minute. I appreciate it's quite hard for you to see where it is at the minute. Go. Let's do the red caps. Like so. Bit of red on here. Go. So I don't know what everybody's up to this weekend. Hope you've got something nice planned. Whether that's time on your own or with family or friends. Whether you're catching up on the week's washing, maybe. I hope it's nice whatever you get up to. There we go. Oops. Let me just lift that up so you can see what it looks like so far. Let's do a little bit of red on here. And so I'm just mixing and matching these colours up together. It's got red on. Right, I need green hubcaps. I'm afraid I'm not an early bird, Kerry, at all. Okay. So I've just got the wheels and the tyres and the outside of the hubcap and the other bits, and then all of the windows to do. That's that one. That's that one. Nice bright colours. Go. So, sorry, I'm turning these round. It must be really annoying. That one. One. Okay, so for the windows I'm going to use a light pool party. Just need to find it from the ones I have had out earlier on. Bear with me 1 second. Light pool party, and I want a light grey and a colour lifter. Okay, so just going to do the windows first. So I'm going to take light pool party and just coming across with a bit of almost like a triangle left to right, and then use the colour lifter. That's quite dry, that one. Let me grab another one. Just to go in it, over it and soften it. Go. And then you just get the impression of a little bit of glass, hopefully, or a bit of reflection. Go. Right, and then finally I've got the tyres and the bumpers. So I've got a light smoky slate, number 2, like that. And then just working my way around. Now what you can do is, if you've got a spare piece of card, you can put that down over your work so that you don't pick up any spare bits of ink or marker and transfer it across. Make sure you're using a clean piece, not a piece of grid paper or anything that might have some other ink on it, like so. So just working my way around and I'll be done. So I'm just using a circular motion for that. And stopping just inside of the line so that I don't go over. Enough I do, so small. Hopefully you won't see it. There we go, and the last one. And then I've got to decide what colour card I'm going to put this on. So if you have any thoughts, let me know, and I'll grab some card and just put this together. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. Driving by just to say hi. So what do we think? A red, onto a red card, or maybe grey and then red would look quite nice, because obviously we've got grey on all of those tyres. So I said I could bring them in just a little bit closer, but there wouldn't be much in it. Thank you, Kerry. See what we think. Although I think the green would look nice actually, granny apple green. Oh, nice a deep racing green would look nice, but I think that's quite. I think that would work quite nicely, and it's quite neutral then, those two colours together. So let's just cut this layer first. So I'm just going to measure this and add 1/2 centimetre. So this is 12.2. Oops, sorry. So 12.7. Let's cut this to a standard size, otherwise that'll throw me. There we go. By 12.7. Yep, that works nicely. And then hopefully, so 13. to let's bring this out like so, by 26.4. Let's move our Stamparatus out of the way. So 26.4. Scored at 13.2. If I remembered that right. We'll soon find out, won't we? Yep, that works perfectly. So you could easily stamp that onto a circle and add the circle in the middle, especially if it's stitched. That might look quite fun if you did a black layer and then a white layer, because then it would almost look like they're on a roundabout. So I might put this together and then try that on top and see what it looks like. I'm conscious that we're actually still live. So just going to pop this onto a layer of basic grey card. Just getting that roughly central, like so. And then that's going to go onto there. Just adding. So this is Granny Apple Green. That's going to go onto. This is nearly run out. There we go. And I think this would be great for anybody to receive. You could obviously put a birthday sentiment in the middle. Be great for, although this has got presents on it, but you could do it with this one or this one, and have that as a, you know, congratulations for passing your test sort of thing, couldn't you? So there we go. There's our finished card for today, using the Stamparatus. So I hope you like the design. I am going to try cutting out a black circle on, well, some black card and then a white smaller layer, and just to see if I can make it look like a roundabout. But I'm going to do that off camera because I haven't got all the equipment to hand, and we've been here for 35 minutes already. So there we go. It's something nice and simple. You could obviously give that a go measuring and positioning, but it is so much easier with the Stamparatus because it does all the hard work for you. All you've got to do is stamp it, and then in this case colour it in. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll dig out the other ones as well, and I will be back again live tomorrow, Friday, at this time. So if you are free, do join me, and we'll have a go at the Give It a Whirl dies with these popping up out of the window. See how we get on with that. So thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you joining me. Thanks for all the hearts. I will pop those links up. One link to my Stamparatus template and one link to the Stamparatus list on my YouTube channel, my playlist. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Do take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, depending on what time and when you're watching. And I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.